Well, good morning. It's Crazy Cheap Chick, and today I'm going to make some lasagna. I haven't made lasagna in a really long time, but I love it. It just takes some time to make, like an hour and a half. So unless you have a day that you have a little extra time, it's one of those things that I think we kind of reserve for special occasions. And I want to take some to a friend who's getting ready to have some surgery tomorrow. So I decided on lasagna. So let's get cooking. I am going to start by browning some hamburger and chopped up onion and green pepper. Now, sometimes I cook the green pepper and onion separately. I don't think it makes much of a difference, and I guess I'm feeling lazy today because I'm cooking it all together. I'm also going to add some garlic because, I add garlic to everything. I like garlic, and I like the health benefits of garlic more than anything. So there's not a lot in here. I'm probably going to have to open another jar because I want a good 2 tablespoons in there anyway. I don't make lasagna a lot because, let's face it, it is kind of labor intensive. But I have a friend who's having some knee replacement surgery tomorrow, and I wanted to take her a meal. And I do love lasagna, I just don't make it very often. And so I'm going to take her some lasagna, and I'm also going to take her a salad. And so I'm getting the salad together. Now, I like to eat at least 7 different vegetables a day. If you follow me, I talk about that all the time. And I'm getting like 8 vegetables in this salad. Now, something else I'm going to add is I had bought this panino tray, if that's panino? I don't know how you say that. Little appetizer tray because I had some friends over on Friday night for a glass of wine and a few snacks. And I bought this at Aldi's. It was under $6. I think it was $5.49. And they're pretty good. And so I'm going to chop up some of these and put in the salad because I don't like to let anything go to waste. That's one of my main money-saving tips is eat your leftovers. Well, that looks pretty done. You don't want to burn it or have rock hard dry hamburger pebbles. And so I am going to drain it and rinse it. Now I am going to add some petite diced tomatoes. You could use commercial spaghetti sauce. It's not as good though. But it is a time saver, and I'm not going to be mad at you if you'd rather use a commercial spaghetti sauce. Now what's going to make it thick is I'm going to add a can of tomato paste, and then we're going to add in our spices. So by adding that tomato paste, it made it nice and thick, and that's what you really want in a lasagna, I think. Just for comparison, here's a bottle of Prego I opened a couple of days ago, and you can see how thin that is. Now I am going to add it in here just because in the interest of not wasting food, I want to get rid of it. Now I'm going to spice it up. I'm going to add some oregano. I just sprinkle it in. I don't measure it, but these are probably like 1/4 teaspoon amounts, I would guess. Going to add a little basil. You can't go too wrong on spices. I suppose you could add too many, but kind of hard. Rosemary, I love rosemary. And I'm also going to put in a little thyme. And now we're going to add the secret ingredients. Oh, the secret ingredient is always just a little bit of sugar. You don't want very much. You don't want it real sweet. That's probably a teaspoon. But that will make it really yummy. So I think that sauce is almost done. Now, I had a neighbor for years who was very Italian. And of course, he didn't call it spaghetti sauce. It was gravy. Always gravy, not sauce. He would correct me every time I said spaghetti sauce. You mean gravy? Now I'm going to start putting together the cream filling, and this is probably where I'm going to go off a little bit different than maybe how your mom or grandma made it. I make it like my dad's mom made it. My grandma, and let me just say, lasagna, when in the late 60s and early 70s when I was growing up, that was an exotic meal. Very exotic. We didn't have stuff like that on the farm in Northwest Missouri. And my grandma always put a package of softened cream cheese in it. And so I do too. And I'm also going to put a big container of ricotta cheese and probably 3 eggs and some red pepper flakes. I've added the 3 eggs. What is that, about $50 worth of eggs? And I put just a few red pepper flakes, just give it a little kick. And gonna plop in this ricotta. Oh, that does not sound good. And now I'm gonna mix this all up. Well, our water's boiling, so I'm gonna go ahead and cook these lasagna noodles. We've got the meat sauce ready. I've got the cream cheese filling ready. Got the mozzarella out. And once I get these noodles boiling, I am gonna make some croutons. They're so easy to make, and they are so good. They taste so much better than those rock hard store-bought pebbles you buy. I've got about half a stick of butter that I'm gonna melt now. And I've cut that bread into squares. And once I melt the butter, I'm gonna toss them in the butter and a few Italian seasonings. Just the same ones I used in the sauce. Gravy, I mean. Now I'm gonna show you a tip to kind of send this gravy over the top. This is gnarly head wine. This is just a Merlot. Had some friends over the other night. We didn't even make it through 2 bottles of wine. But just add a little bit of red wine and it'll be really good. And then the second thing is add a little bit of cream. That's gonna just send that sauce, gravy, whatever you want to call it, over the top. Yummy. I haven't tasted this yet, but it's sure looking and smelling good. I'm gonna taste that. Oh man, that's delicious. Now, I'm a pretty clean cook. I never double dip. So once I taste something, I always put the spoon right in the dishwasher so I don't get confused. But that is good. It maybe is just a little bit more cream, actually. All right, we're gonna live wild. I am gonna add just a little bit more cream. I mean, this is according to how you like things to taste. There's still quite a bit in there, so I can't add the rest of it, but we're gonna mix that up. That's probably about right there. Clean spoon, gonna give it another taste. Oh man, that was good, really good. Well, that butter is melted, and I also greased a pan to put these on. But first, we're gonna just pick up these cubes, put them in this bowl of melted butter. And of course, there's some spices in there too. But it was just Italian spice. It wasn't anything fancy in there. And we're gonna coat them. That's half a stick of butter. If you wanted them to be really, really delicious, add a whole stick, but man, that's like a heart attack waiting to happen there. These aren't healthy, but they are tasty. I did grease this cookie pan, which is probably like 100 years old. And I'm just gonna toss this on there and spread them out. And we're gonna put them in the oven for a few minutes until they dry out. And these are delicious, so much better than any commercial gravel croutons that you buy at the store. Because they'll be kind of crunchy on the outside and soft on the interior. Oh, they're so good. And now I think our lasagna is done. So while these are cooking, I'm gonna drain the lasagna and start putting together the lasagna. And I don't think there's any rules on how you layer your lasagna. I've got 3 pans. One will be for us tonight, one will be for my sweet friend, and the other will just be a spare that I'll put in the freezer for a night I don't feel like cooking, because I get tired of eating the same thing over and over and over. But the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna do meat sauce, lasagna, cheese. Meat sauce, lasagna, cheese. Now on these croutons, you're probably going to want to toss them at least once, kind of make sure they get toasted. Oops, last one. Well, I've got one layer, you know. I've got the meat sauce, noodles, and cheese. Now I'm going to reverse it a little bit. Now I'm going to be noodles, meat sauce, cheese. I've got the lasagnas made, and they look really, really good. Now the one I'm going to take to my friend, you know, my friend's one of those people that anytime someone needs something, she's the one that's there with the meal. You know, she's just very kind and reliable and always taking care of people. So I want to make something for her. So I'm going to cook the lasagna for her, and the one that I'm going to freeze for another day. And then the one for tonight, I will wait till dinner time to cook. And hopefully I remember to cook it, because the other night I turned on the oven. It was dinner time. I went to take it out of the oven, and I had never put it in the oven. The oven had been on an hour. I thought my meal was cooking. It wasn't. It was in the refrigerator. Also, the croutons are just perfect. Really perfect. See how yummy those croutons are? And they're also good in soup. This is a tomato soup. And I just put just a can of tomato soup. I didn't make it. And I put a few croutons to hold up a little bit of cheese. Should be tasty. That is some good looking lasagna. I am looking forward to this dinner. Well, thank you so much for watching my video. I really do appreciate it, because I know you're probably a very busy person. And we do all kinds of fun things out here at Bright Bridge Farm. So come along and be our guest. If you got anything at all out of the video, give me a like and consider subscribing. That would help me out a lot. On YouTube, if you reach 1,000 subscribers, which seems impossible, you can monetize your channel. And I saw a lady who said she had 2,000 subscribers and made about $30 a month. So I don't think that's going to be my retirement plan, but every subscriber helps, and I do appreciate it. So have a great evening.